Welcome to the American Council of the Blind of Virginia's Voices of Vision, a live Zoom broadcast where we conduct 30-minute interviews with inspiring guests making an impact in the blind and low vision community. ACBVA is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We appreciate your support. Enjoy the show. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the American Council of the Blind of Virginia's Voices of Vision. We are so excited to be here with you today. Of course, I'm your host, Deborah Hill, and I'm here with Maria Evangelista.
Hello, everybody. Hi.
And also with Teresa Breeden, who is our technical guru and also will be sharing with everyone everything about our exciting fundraisers at the end of our program.
Hello, everyone.
Well, we are going to get started with this show today about leadership. And we're here with two amazing leaders. We are so excited to welcome Doug Powell, the president of the American Council of the Blind of Virginia. Welcome, Doug.
Thanks, Deborah. Good to be here.
And of course, you guys remember Jeremy Grandstaff, and he has returned today to talk again with us. And he is going to talk all about his leadership background as well. And so we are going to hit the ground running with Doug Powell. Doug, welcome again. And we would just love to hear about your journey to becoming the president of ACBVA.
Well, thank you. This is actually the second time I've been president of ACBVA, although it was called the Old Dominion Council of the Blind and Vision Impaired the previous time I was president. I think I started with the organization in the early 2000s and was a chapter president and just worked my way up through was on the board, was a chapter representative from the chapter that I belonged to the board, and then was a board member, and then was president. I've been the secretary, and I've also been on the American Council of the Blind Board of Directors, and I'm back doing the president for another what I think about 8 or 9 months.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your service to ACBVA. And welcome again, Jeremy Grandstaff.
It's so good to be with you guys. Thanks so much for having me.
And you're just such a wonderful storyteller, and we just love to hear your story again, but relating to leadership this time.
Yeah,
It's a different topic.
Absolutely. Like I said, the last time I was on, most of the jobs that I have always require me to be really good at not like showing preferences to one organization or another. And my last job was really for an accessibility company. So they made a point to make it very clear that I had to get involved in all kinds of different organizations. So I joined ACB last year, ACB of Virginia last year. I had also done some work with ACB Maryland, I'm sorry, and was really excited about, seeing what I could do to advance ACB of Virginia as well. I'm kind of the guy that I'm the leader who likes to just jump in head first, right? And I also like to assess whether I'm valuable to an organization as quickly as I possibly can. And so I joined the programming committee, and I felt that would kind of align more clearly with my my learning and development background and professional development background. So that's kind of how I got to be part of this, and how I've been trying to give back to ACB of Virginia this year. So that's kind of a little bit about me.
Well, thank you. And you have certainly been of great value to ACBVA. Thank you both so much.
That's right. Welcome, gentlemen. And I'm gonna start the question with to Doug about the workshop. You know, I know you're gonna talk about leadership. How did you come up with leadership as a workshop topic, and what's the relevance?
Great question, Maria. So we have a lot of new members, and the current configuration of ACB of Virginia doesn't really lend itself to a sort of a mentoring program the same way that back in the day we had a lot of chapters around, and people would take offices in their chapters first and learn the ropes and work their way up and that kind of thing. We don't have that structure that way anymore. And so a lot of people were asking, well, what are the responsibilities of leadership roles? What do I have to do? What is ACBVA, and what do I have to do to be a committee member or a committee chair in that organization? So I thought that it would be great for our first convention that we've had in person, and well, it's also hybrid, but our first convention together, I thought it would be great to have a session on leadership training. What it does take to be a leader in ACBVA, to alleviate all those questions, or try to answer some of those questions.
Right.
So,
and I think for me, when Doug had come up with this idea, it's every organization is always a little bit different in how they apply leadership and how they want people to lead, right? And so you're going to see differing leadership styles, differing leadership opportunities, depending on what nonprofit you're working in and what association you're working in. So, for the past 25 years, developing leaders was kind of a passion of mine, and what I do professionally. So when Doug had put this on the table, I thought, well, the two of us coming together, building on his ACB expertise and everything that he knows about how to be a great leader in ACB, and then my ability to kind of apply that, right? And say, okay, now that you've learned this, what are you going to do tomorrow? Right? That's the skill that I think we're really going to see in this particular dialogue. Is there'll be lots of learning information, but then being able to figure out, what are you going to do with that, and how are you going to turn that into action? And that's what excites me about teaming up with Doug on this workshop.
You're going to talk about how to implement being a leader, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Well, you're getting into our next question, which is, what were you guys really thinking of as your goals and objective for this workshop? Is there one or two major takeaways that you want people that attend to walk away, just solidifying in their mind about leadership?
So I've actually been working on a document that, and I hope people, I hope we're going to finish it, and Jeremy's going to look at it, and we're going to vet it a little bit and then put it up on the website, which is a sort of a primer for, what does it take to be a leader? So, and that's what I thought coming into it. And then Jeremy said, well, by the way, I've done some training also. I worked for National Industries for the Blind for 10 years, going around to different agencies and doing communications and leadership skills training at those agencies. And so I think the two of us really want to not only give give people an idea of what it takes to be a leader, but also elicit some excitement about taking on a leadership role and and creating our next cadre of leaders.
Yeah, I think really kind of thinking about like what was our overall purpose that we want to achieve, and how do we do that. Doug is going to give a great presentation on like he said, what are the opportunities that you have as a leader in ACB of Virginia. How does that play out? What qualities are we looking for? How can we apply those at our level, right? And he's putting together an amazing document, which is I think going to be just so valuable to participants. Then the concept is that we're going to build on that. And now that you've got a clear understanding of what it means to be a leader, and you understand the core values of ACB Virginia and the expectations of that leadership, then how can you make a personal commitment to how you're going to show up tomorrow and start to apply that at more of a personal level? And so there'll be some discussion points and times to ask questions, absolutely. But what we have found in training is that the more interactive, not just, hey guys, what do you think, but more, let's talk about this. And what did you hear? And what are some of the things that you would want to do based on what you're hearing and learning? Those are going to be the key pieces where you start to see that paradigm shift in leadership that you're talking about, Doug. And that's what excites me about this, is if we do our job well, then you're going to have that, people wanting to step into the leadership roles for ACB of Virginia and showing up in a way that they haven't showed up before.
The other thing is, I think, Jeremy and Deborah and Maria, ACB of Virginia, or Old Dominion Council of the Blind before that, we have always had a presence on the national scene in American Council of the Blind. We're an affiliate of the American Council of the Blind, and we have always contributed back to that organization with our talent and that kind of thing. So I also want to sort of clear the path for people to not only move into leadership positions in ACBVA, but also at the national level, and continue to make those contributions to our national organization.
Mm-hmm. Okay, as speaking about interaction, I have interacted with both of you, and I could definitely certify that both of you are great leaders, but not everybody could think the way you do. And they would say, oh, of course, they would not have the self-confidence that you guys have. And they're going to say, oh, how could I do this? It's not possible, I'm not that type. So what advice can you say, and what are you going to tell them for encouragement, and how to encourage them to be a leader? Talk about leadership.
Mm-hmm.
So
go ahead, Jeremy.
If it's okay, Doug, I'm gonna go first on this one, because I've been really thinking about this question, but I intentionally did not write anything down, and it's because I wanted you to get my off the cuff answer.
Because you're a natural.
Well, no. It's because what I'm about to say, I actually really agree with. And if somebody comes to me and says, well, I don't know if I can be a leader, I just don't know. Oh my gosh, what if it's not going to work? Stop. Just stop. Stop. And the reason that I'm so direct about this is because in the blind community in general, in most situations, the people who get in their own way of being a leader are the people who say, I don't know if I can. So stop saying, I don't know. That would be the first question. The second question I would say then is, what does leadership look like to you? What does it look like if we're meeting a year from now and you are telling me that you are one of the most amazing leaders in the world? What would you be doing that would make you think that way? And then ask yourself, how do I get to that point? Those are conversations that we can have. And this is not just a problem for the blind community, but I will tell you, as someone who has been training leaders and helping people develop their leadership skills for the last 25 years, it is about the mindset that you bring to that. And if you're already saying, I don't know if I can, you like, the brain does not know how to process a negative context. And so what you have to start saying is, I know I can, and this is what I have to do to be a great leader. That's the conversation that we need to have. And every single person, no matter what your ability is, has the ability to have that conversation and to be that kind of leader. I really believe that. I wouldn't do what I do if I didn't.
And the
You
other
have
thing,
to have the self assurance, though.
well, but no, you don't.
Okay, I would like to
You
hear
actually
that.
don't. You actually have to have the commitment. You have to have the willingness to try. That's all you need, because there are many ways for people to get trained on being a leader. One, you can't. Number one, you can't learn how to be a leader from sitting outside. So I totally agree that, jumping in, like Jeremy's talking about, is absolutely, is absolutely necessary for you to start figuring out what it takes to be a leader. The other thing is, you have people around you who have been down the road, who are willing, more than willing, to help you. We can set up a mentoring program if you want to do that. There's tons of resources at the ACB level. I happen to be a co-chair of the leadership training committee for ACB, and we have a call every month, that we talk about a different aspect of leadership. We also, the ACB has a mentoring program, a 9-month mentoring program that you can apply for. So there are lots of opportunities to learn. All we need you to do is have the willingness and interest to, to jump in and be committed to it.
Well, that's great. Obviously, this is a very fascinating conversation, and we are looking forward to doing more of this at our convention. This is going to be a great workshop, and really a lot of discussion on what leadership is and how it looks and what it takes to train to be a leader. Thank you both so much. Um, what would you tell someone about coming to our state convention and encouraging them if they're hesitant possibly to come or haven't signed up yet, or wondering, hey, should is this is just one of the workshops, but there's really a lot more involved in the convention. So let's hear some words from you guys to encourage people to attend.
Well,
Go ahead.
I always start this the same way, which is, if you're an ACB of Virginia member, then it's a no-brainer. You should be there, right?
Yeah.
If not just for the topics that we'll be discussing, but for the community, the networking, the self-development, and clearly you have a commitment to the organization, so you should definitely be there. But the truth is, if someone told me that they were, kind of hesitant to not want to come to the convention, or they don't know if they should, I'm kind of not the guy who tells people what they should do. Instead, remember, I'm a coach, right? So the first thing I'm going to ask them is, have they reviewed the agenda? And if they haven't reviewed the agenda, I'd be like, oh, can I do that with you? Right. And then I would say, so based on what you're hearing on the agenda, what resonates with you? And is that really something that you want to miss? In other words, I want people coming because they see a great agenda, they see what they have to look forward to, and they want to be part of that conversation. That's how we get people to things. And yeah, so that's how I would go about it.
Great, great.
Yeah,
Doug?
yeah, no, I totally agree with Jeremy. But the other side is there's no impediments to coming, because this year for the first time we are also hybrid, which means that you can actually attend via Zoom. You don't have to, if you can't make it down to Fredericksburg, you can still join in the fun. And so that, and join in for the great sessions. But I totally agree with Jeremy on the other hand, which is that part of the value of this convention is getting together with your fellow members. And so I totally agree that uh, attending in person beats the heck out of attending via hybrid, but attending via hybrid is better than not attending at all. So I guess that's what I would say to somebody. And I agree, I totally agree that looking at those session, at the session topics, we have, I mean, Teresa and Roseanne and the other people on the program committee and such have really worked hard to pull together topics that are interesting for every, well, I don't know if they're interesting for if every session is going to be interesting for everybody, but if you can't find something that interests you on this agenda, then then I don't know what. Then I want your ideas on what you want to hear about, because we tried real hard, and maybe we can do your topics next time.
Great, great. Well, this has been a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much, Doug and Jeremy. And we are going to switch over to Teresa, who we would be remiss if we did not say is another wonderful leader at ACBDA. Teresa wears many, many hats in leadership roles in our organization, and she does it with style and flair and expertise and talent. And you've heard her here on Voices of Vision, and we appreciate her contributions so much. And she also is involved in leadership at the ACB level. So thank you so much,
Shoes that are
Teresa.
hard to fill.
For sure.
Yes, Doug doesn't want to think about someone filling my shoes.
I do not.
Well, thank you for that. Now my cheeks are all rosy and
You look wonderful.
all right. So on with fundraising. So we currently have 3 fundraisers going on. One is our tote bags with our ACBVA logo. They are $25 and can be purchased online and will be available at the convention for sale. And then we also have our t-shirts with our ACBVA logo on them. That will be $25 as well. You can purchase that online and also at the convention. If online, you can go to our website, which is acbva at acbva.org. There we go. And go under fundraising, and you will see pictures of the shirt and the tote bag, and the order form is there for you as well. Like I said, you can purchase them at the convention. The only thing I stress is get there and get them as fast as you can, because I only have so many of certain sizes, and once they're sold out, I don't have any more. So I would suggest ordering them online, but that's just me. Our next fundraiser that we have going on is our Scentsy. Scentsy is a business that sells, I guess they're candle warmers. So they warm up wax melts and make your house smell lovely. So that fundraiser there is going on until October 31st. And if you're at the convention, which I hope you are, there will be some Scentsy products available for you to look at and smell. because they're going to be part of our silent auction. So there we go. Our next thing that I want to talk about is our silent auction. We are going to have lots of stuff, baskets full of goodies, desserts, maybe some cheesy bread, and
I hope so. If we have a kitchen.
and we also have some handmade items such as blankets and hats and scarves. So there's going to be a little bit for everybody. You can participate in the auction in person and virtually. So if you're interested, or if you have any questions at all about the convention, you can contact myself and Roseanne at convention@acbva.org. That's all of our fundraising and excitement at the convention, and I hope to see everyone there. Thank
We're
you.
looking forward to it.
So
Thank you. Yes.
Are you going to give the dates and the website, or you want me to do
Well,
it?
our website, I'll say again, is acbva.org, and our convention is October 17th. It starts at 5 p.m. with checking in and having some appetizers and getting to know everybody. Continues on to Saturday with all of our programming. And then on the 19th, Sunday, is our annual business meeting.
Great.
Plus
Yeah, you talk more about that.
a presentation from the Department for the Blind and Vision Impaired, the Virginia agency that supplies rehab services for people who are blind or low vision. And then there will also be an open hearing for DBVI. DBVI, Department for the Blind and Vision Impaired, every year has to have a series of public meetings where they get feedback from people who are around the state who are blind and low vision, and about their services. So this is an opportunity for people to express their appreciation or their thoughts for improvement. So that'll be Sunday at I think 11:30.
One more thing else I want to mention before we go, Deborah, and that is, please like our video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. And all the information about our website and the current fundraisers will be listed in the description of the video, along with links about the convention. So if you have any questions about any of that, you can look in the description and it'll have it all there for you.
And that's on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today for Voices of Vision. We thank you, Doug and Jeremy.
It's our pleasure to be with you.
Yes, and Maria.
It's so
and
great to be with
Teresa.
both of you as well. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, this is a great conversation, and it's going to be a great convention. So we always end asking you to check out our social media and learn about our upcoming schedule. We know that Doug is going to return for another Voices of Vision show. So we look forward to having him back again. And so we say, remember to use your voice to share your vision. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. This has been the American Council of the Blind of Virginia's Voices of Vision. We hope you enjoyed the show. Music by Sam Lupica. Visit our website at acbva.org. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe with us on our YouTube channel. Email your story ideas to communications at acbva.org.